Mark here, and welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. Today I thought it'd be a good day to go inside and give Sheldon a little trim on the hoofs. We have to keep that up, especially in the wintertime when they're inside and hay and they're not on the gravel. It tends to not wear down if they're on a softer surface. So speaking of trimming, as of I guess today at midnight, 12:01 this morning, we can now get haircuts. So that is back. So there's been a lot of Manitobans here wandering around with long and scruffy hair. I'm one of them. My mullet has kind of come back from my teenage years in the 80s. So that's something. It has gotten busy apparently. They're booked up like crazy. So I'm usually one of those kind of people that just kind of stop in and get a haircut. Hi, Sheldon. Okay, so here we are, Sheldon, and I got the tool I need. What is that, buddy? So these are trimmers. These are actually hoof trimmers. You can buy them probably like 20 bucks or so at a farm supply store. You can also use side cutters. I've seen people use side cutters. I've seen people use pruning shears, all kinds of things like that. These are the proper ones to use. What do you think? And we're going to check your hoofs. What is up there? You're such a silly boy. You are. You're hilarious. Okay, so Sheldon, Sheldon might put up a little bit of a fight. So we'll see how things go. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to bring him forward here. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. Put my arm over around and bring up his hoof. So here I can see that this nail has kind of come over top of it. So in grabbing my trimmers, what you want to do is it's just a flap, and I'll show you. I've actually made something to help on the view of this. I'll show you after I've done this, and you just want to get underneath that and then just kind of trim away that flap that comes over top of it. So we've got that. Sometimes you'll get hay and whatnot in there that you can just kind of get in, use the end and kind of just get in there and pull that out, and do it little by little. So once you've got that, you can just kind of trim around the front of it, clean up the back. Usually you're safe if you go underneath it. Of course, you don't want to dig into something that you know, you could cause some pain. So if you dig underneath it and just kind of trim it off, all that excess that comes up, and then of course do that with the other one. Oh, Sheldon, you're gonna have a little pedicure, aren't you? You're not too happy. Hang on. Okay, let's do the other one, bud. Oh, yes, I know. Okay. Ah, yes. All right, so again, just getting underneath. Okay. Usually this is done by two people, but Tara was working on a project and I didn't want to, oh, I know. I know. Okay, so there we go. It's a quick little trim. All right, buddy. Oh, you know, is it that bad? Just doesn't know what's going on. Doesn't have control, right? Yeah, see, here, look. Look, it's fine. Yes, you just didn't know what was going on. So it's a simple trim. Two people would be recommended, one person to hold. And if you have a stand works well as well, like putting them up on a higher surface, just easier on the back. And then giving them some food. You want some food? Maybe we should give them a treat. Isn't that what you do to animals when they get a haircut or a trim? Okay, I'll get you something, buddy. Yes, I'll get you something. Here, buddy. Here, look. Sheldon. Sheldon. Here. Some pumpkin there. Oh, there you go. And some carrots. Here, I'll just throw that down there for you. He doesn't do too much with treats. I think he likes the pumpkin better than the carrots. Are you playing with your food? Oh, silly boy. Yeah, no, just as I suspected. Henry will probably go in and eat it later, won't you, bud? Getting back to trimming the hoofs again. So I made this little gadget here probably 3 or 4 years ago. Probably the first time I did kind of a goat trimming video. And what it is I just took some 2x2s and trimmed them out. And then I took some business cards and I put them in and I cut the tops and folded them over. And that's basically what you're looking at with a goat. The business cards are the nails that grow down. And then as they grow too long, they tend to get stomped on and they get squished out. So this might be a little bit easier way to see and a little closer up. So you can see the flaps that are coming down. So what you want to do is you want to kind of get underneath those flaps and then just kind of trim them up as you go like that. And then put your blade, you know, underneath the other one. Ooh, getting out of focus here. Underneath the other one, and trim that up as you go along. And just kind of working your way around the hoof, always kind of resting your blade on the bottom of the hoof. Then you know you're not digging in too far. So just keep on working around, getting in here. As I mentioned, there might be some dirt in here that you can stick your blade in and then just kind of pop out of there. There might be hay and some poop and whatnot. And then once you have that up, you bring it up. And then just kind of go around and trim up the edges and clean it up in between. Now, of course, their hoofs are a little bit more pliable than this. But this, you can kind of get an idea as to how you just kind of go around and trim them up. That's a little rough. But you kind of get the idea here as to how the trimming then works. So lighting can often be a challenge in the barn. Usually it's pretty dark, and when I film in here, it can be grainy. So what I've actually done is I've set up some lighting. I had this one here. This is actually a light stand I had with a little photography kit, and I just put some LED lights on here. But this company called SANSI, they sent this light, and they sent it kind of mid-summer last year, and it's actually a grow light. It's a 70-watt grow light. And what I did is I just mounted it to the top of here, and then I can just turn it on and light things up. So it really does work. I think it's a 95 to 98 color spectrum. So that means it's really good when using it for for plants, which is what it's meant for, but also for photography and videography. So that's what I've used there. I haven't gotten to actually review the light yet because they sent it in the summertime. And of course you're not really sprouting things, but come spring we'll take this light and we'll set it up. It seems to work really well for what I'm using it for, and we also have it set up in the bathroom where Poopitz, the little bunny rabbit's located, away from the cats, and we also have to leave our plants away from the cats as well. So we have it set up in there on its off hours. Now in here with the rest of the animals, Fernando's over there hanging out. We've tried to let him out a few times, but he just doesn't want to come out. Are you shy, buddy? He's waiting for spring like all of us. His tail's looking pretty good. And then we have Pluto, and we have Onyx. And Moira, what are you doing? You got an itch? She always has this little itch that she tries to scratch on the brush over there, which just gets matted with her wool. So you girls are doing okay. So these guys stay inside here. They're kind of our special ones. We just want to look out for them and make sure that they're, yeah, it's like she has a little bit of a scratch. You need a scratch. Speaking of being itchy and all this wool, they will likely be sheared come early June. We put it off a little bit into the warmer season just because it can get pretty cool in May. May it can drop down to below freezing sometimes. So we want to make sure that they're not going to get too cold. So usually we put it off till about June. The Muscovies are in here, and they will remain in here until until things warm up, when we shift the animals around, bringing the mamas to be, the female goats in probably probably end of March, I would imagine. That's when things start to warm up. These guys can handle about down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Anything colder than that, they just don't do well in that kind of temperature. They freeze. So we've got these guys in here. We've got a few of the other ones out in the outbuilding that does keep warm. There's Billy. Billy the rooster, not Billy the goat. We have a few Billies around. And then we've got our girls in here, the hens. And I see they're just finishing off a melon that was put out this morning. So they do get all kinds of different treats. And melon is one of them. Some of the other ones here, we've got some apples and some carrots. And then, of course, we've got pumpkins. So we had pumpkins donated to us this fall. And here's kind of a bin of some cut up ones. And you can see that there's still, we've still got quite a few. So they're really making their way through the winter. In here we've got our guinea fowl, our 3 guinea fowl and their mom, a hen, a bantam hen. And then we've got Midnight over there, which is a rabbit that came in a few weeks back. And then of course we have little Scooby, the little call duck. All right, and I think that's it for in here. Let's go check and see what the girls are doing, or all the kids are doing. I guess not just the girls. Out here. Hi, Shanzi. How are things? Well, I see. We've got the pigs in here. Now, I did set up a GoPro, and I currently have the GoPro set up and running here. Because when I came out earlier, Petunia was lying across the top, and I wanted to see if I could capture her and her shenanigans. When she was younger, where is she? So there's Billie Jean and Holly over here. And I think, yeah, there she is over here. So Petunia's here. When she was younger, her first year out here, she was the one that would always lay across. And actually Coco went and joined her. Where's Coco? There's Tulip and Billy the goat. And oh, look at this. Oh, somebody's sleeping. Oh, resting on her sister. Well, kind of her sister, her stepsister, I guess you could say. All right, Coco. Oh no, Coco's out there. Coco's over here. Coco's sleeping, resting up against the side. Oh, how you doing, Coco? Are you sleeping? Is that how you sleep? Oh, a stretch. Just resting up against the side of the building. So Coco was another one because they grew up together, Petunia and Coco. Coco would sometimes go and sit and lie on the pigs. And it's warm, of course. It's a nice symbiotic relationship. Carl, I see Carl is on one corner and Billy's on the other corner. They've got their own spots. And Blackie here. Blackie's well, she would be the oldest one, the oldest goat on the farm. She came in quite a few years ago, and she was already at least a few years old when she came in. And she came in with her mother, Silver, which was rehomed over to another farm. And then we have Charlotte here. I'm not sure what's happening with Charlotte. I believe she may be going to another farm this summer. So we're going to see how things go. We have somebody that's interested. Charlotte has kind of always been one that didn't really fit in that much. But she is likely pregnant, and then when she kids out, she'll go with her kids over to the other farm, because they are a herd animal. So you don't want to just have one of them. Even if you have a sheep and a goat, that works out well. What do you want? Yeah, you just want to rub on me. I know what you boys want to do. You just want to put your stink on me. We have Tinker here, and of course the alpacas. So Shanzi, Paula, why do you always have stuff on your face? You and Marley. Marley's her son, and Marley's eye is doing well. Some of you had asked. He does have these goobers that come in from time to time, and we do treat them regularly when we see that. Clean out the eyes. He doesn't like it, but you know, sometimes we don't always like what's good for us. Turbo and George over there. And then we have Daisy the sheep here. And Bronwyn. Hi, Bronwyn. What's up, girl? And I've talked about this before. No, Bronwyn will not be pregnant. There has been talk about Geese, which is a sheep and a goat, and crossbreeding them. As far as I can tell, it's just kind of a myth. There is somebody in Scotland who claims to have had one, but it just looks like a little lamb that hasn't really grown up that much. I haven't seen any pictures of the lamb into a sheep. But sometimes, you know, sheep or lambs when they're young can look, slightly different. Not much going on out here, of course. There are some trails that kind of go back. Very rarely you will see them kind of mosey back in that direction. And yes, there is a pond there. Somebody had mentioned in the comments that, I think it was one of the drone footages. They said, wow, it's amazing. You can't even see the pond there. Because of this snow. And this year, it's only about -5 out, I think, right now. Has been the warmest January on record since they ever started making records of temperatures, whenever that was. This is the warmest that it's ever been by, I think it's about 13 degrees Celsius above the normal temperature. But I think that's going to change as what they call a polar vortex is going to come in. They can't just say, some cold winds from the north. They got to come up with some kind of fancy name to make it sound good. So apparently there's a polar vortex coming, and it's going to whiz its way down here. Oh, look, the sheep are coming out. It's always the sheep. Nobody else wants to come out. I guess you guys are just built for it with that coat. Now they will all get sheared as well at the same time as Moira. So we have somebody that usually comes out and does the shearing, and we have some other videos on shearing. So if you are interested in how that works, you can check out that video. I'll put a card up in the top here. You don't always see those cards, depending on if you're on a mobile device, you might not see it. But you can always go to our channel and just search processing wool, and that'll come up. So some other animals that don't usually like to go inside, even when it's really cold, are the ponies. So you can see how it snowed a little bit earlier, and you can see how covered they are. They do have their shelters. They go in there sometimes, that one and this one here. There's Daisy over there. So they're just having their afternoon snack, it seems. And yeah, so they don't wander too much. Now that the snow's down, they'll sometimes, again, they might go for a little walk, but not like they do in the summer months. They'll head out, and I'll see them actually on my way to work down the driveway. Daisy, how you doing, girl? We do spread out the hay. So we've got some in the feeder over there, and then we put a little bit over here. Sometimes you can get some arguments, and usually it's because of Levi, and it stems from around food. So Daisy has no problem telling him what she thinks of it. So it's, you know, just to minimize any kind of stress or anything. Meadow usually wanders between the two like she's doing, and hangs out and gets along really with both of them. And she gives Levi a couple little bumps too if he requires them. No, we don't use blankets. Some people use horse blankets. We had one at one time, but we felt we didn't really require it. They do have the shelters that they can go into. You can see how Levi's coat is really heavy, and we've had no concerns with them getting cold or anything of that nature. So if you put the coat on them earlier on in the season, there could always be a risk that maybe, you know, you have to wear it all the time throughout the winter, because maybe they haven't become accustomed to not having it on. Enjoying your meal there? You guys, you know, the alpaca, the ponies, you get all these all over yourself. Yeah, what do you yeah, you'll eat that. There you go. No problems. All right. Well, you guys enjoy your meal. Coming into the duck and goose rabbit area, this is our excess hay that we store, or hay storage, I guess you could call it. We built this on, I think it was 2 years ago now, and it's been really good. So this is kind of our pony hay area, and then inside the building, we have something for the other ones. This is the loud area. So we've got, it's actually pretty dark in here. Let's see how that works. So on the floor in here, we use what's called a deep bed method, and we'll put down what's called healthy straw, just to make sure it's not wet and to dry things up. So they're all hanging out in here. Hi is one of the Muscovy ducks. He's the white one there in the back. He is pretty friendly. He usually comes up and says hello, but maybe not today. All right, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick view in here. Lighting is not great. And we've got the rabbits that are in here. So, and you guys are always just hanging out on top here. You're roosting. All right, well, I'll leave you to it. Oh yeah, it can definitely get loud in there. So back that way, what we're planning on doing this summer is we want to expand these buildings here. Now we bring out water and we give them water. We don't give them water to bathe in, just because it's so cold here normally, that it freezes at a very fast rate. So I actually did a farm science video, and I kind of showed the electric fence part. I think it might have even been last video. But in that same video, I also did, I debunked the salt water in a pop bottle, putting it in with the water to keep it from freezing. It didn't work. And it actually froze a lot faster than I thought. Both of them did, the control and that one. I went out to do something and I came back and it was already frozen over. And it was a matter of maybe 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes. So having that water out here, you'd have to come out regularly and then you'd probably even get ice buildup around their feet. We've done it this way for years. Maybe in some slightly warmer climates, it would be fine to bring the water out. Now, what we also use is watering heaters. So there's one in here that runs an extension cord up and across into there. We've got a few of those. We've got that one there, and we've got another one behind Daisy. You can't see it, but it's behind her over there for them. And with those, it's funny because on the packaging it says it works down to -20 or -30 Celsius or something. But of course we get down to -40s and with wind chills of -50s, 60s and 70s. So we asked the guy at the store, well, what does this mean? You know, how do you have one that works to our temperatures? And he's like, no. So we go through one of those, at least one of those heaters a season. So we always want to make sure that we have a spare one, and that's always a good idea. We used to, when we did water, before we had the water set up out here, we actually used to go to the house and around the side, actually on both ends of the house, there's a spigot for like a frost-free spigot. And we would actually walk buckets down and in, stainless steel buckets, and we would move them down into that area there. And just thinking back on how, you know, and how much we've grown and how much the farm has grown and how many more animals we have, how much that would have been a pain. So we're down here in Nature's Craft House with Tara working on her project. And little, or should I say, big, larger Poopitz, our little orphaned rabbit who has grown quite a bit and extremely friendly, loves to be picked up. I went up and opened up her little cage, looked in and put my hand in, and she ran right out and wanted to be pet. So, of course, since she was bottle fed, and we are really the only family that she knows, she is extremely friendly. So, Tara is working on Yahtzee, which
Yahtzee.
It's Yahtzee, but in the yard. And what we've done...
Don't mix up
I'm not going to mix them up. Okay. I'm just going to pick it up and show.
Okay.
We did 4x4 blocks, and we cut them 3.5 inches so that they are a perfect square. And then what we did is on the laser engraver, we cut out templates of all the 6 dotted sides, and she is then using that to mark so there's a 4 there, and she's doing all the sides of them.
And I realized afterwards that you actually, true dice has to have equal sides, have to equal 7.
Yes.
So you can't just throw them on. I'm like sitting down here, I'm like, oh, right.
And that's what I was going to ask you, but I looked and you appeared to be quite vested in, and I was a little concerned.
So they're all identical.
Okay,
so
good.
1s, 4s, flip, 2.
Okay. So
I'm doing the same routine back and forth so I get them all the same.
We don't want to be, we don't want people to claim that we're fixing dice.
Right.
So they are done properly. Okay, good. So now she's just making the dots through the template, and then there is a hole saw just over on this side of the table, and there's the phone that's ringing.
Telephone.
We'll leave that.
Okay.
And then she's going to drill out the holes on each one of them. These holes are pinholes or markers or the template hole, and then she will paint out the little one. So this is kind of an ongoing project that we've been doing. And there's a few other ones that were kind of in the works. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you aren't subscribed, I encourage you to click on that subscribe button. If you like this video, of course, click on that thumbs up. And Poopitz, Tara, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.
We will.
Bye-bye.